The pelvic floor trainer is misled by its name. I am not a sex toy. Many girls may not be familiar with it, but vaginal dumbbell is a tool to help postpartum recovery. It is a device used to aid Kegel exercises and needs to be placed inside the vagina, along with some fixed actions, to repair the pelvic floor muscles. However, to this day, many people still do not understand it, or feel ashamed when they hear the name, thinking that something with the word vagina is not appropriate to talk about. Others know that it can improve sexual life experience, but the principle is unclear. So, what is a vaginal dumbbell? How should we use it correctly and what attitude should we have towards it? Today, we are going to understand. Before trying to understand the pelvic floor trainer, let's first focus on the importance of pelvic floor muscles for women. The pelvic muscle group is located at the bottom of the human pelvis, like a strong net holding the uterus, bladder, vagina, rectum and other pelvic organs. When a woman is pregnant, the pelvic muscle is constantly supporting the baby's weight, and the weight is continuously increasing. At the time of delivery, the pelvic muscle is constantly stretched and becomes loosened. A relaxed pelvic muscle is unable to bind the urethra and bladder, and postpartum women are also prone to urinary incontinence symptoms. In addition, there may be uterine prolapse and vaginal prolapse. Data shows that postpartum urinary incontinence has a high incidence rate. That is, many mothers may have urine uncontrollably flowing out when coughing, sneezing or laughing. This not only brings inconvenience to their lives, but also causes psychological stress. If not treated in a timely manner, even if urination is not a problem for a short time after delivery, the pelvic muscle will still be overburdened and may still have urinary incontinence as age increases. Repairing the pelvic floor muscles and using vaginal dumbbells or others are the ACE assistants. The golden period for pelvic floor muscle group rehabilitation is 3 to 6 months after childbirth. However, according to a survey on postpartum urinary incontinence prevention and control awareness, nearly 70% of the women surveyed did not know that urinary incontinence was a common disease among postpartum women. Among women who experience symptoms of urinary leakage after giving birth, nearly half chose to wait for self-healing. In fact, most people can exercise their pelvic floor muscles on their own under the guidance of professionals and achieve the purpose of rehabilitation. Common exercise methods include the famous Kegel exercise, and adding vaginal dumbbells as an aid. Placing it in the vagina can help women feel the sensation of pelvic floor muscle force, thereby exercising pelvic floor muscle strength and effectively improving postpartum vaginal and pelvic floor muscle relaxation, urinary leakage and other problems. Of course, not only postpartum women can exercise. Even if the golden period of 3 to 6 months is missed, Kegel exercises and vaginal dumbbells are still practical. Young women who prepare before pregnancy can also prevent problems with the pelvic floor muscles after childbirth. After exercising the pelvic floor muscles with vaginal dumbbells, the muscle groups can better support the pelvic organs, uterus, vagina, bladder, rectum, etc. As previously mentioned, this means that you can improve urinary incontinence and prevent leakage after childbirth, prevent vaginal and uterine prolapse. It also helps to strengthen postpartum core strength, which helps to keep the pelvis in a neutral position, maintaining spinal stability, and giving you better posture while avoiding problems such as anterior or posterior pelvic tilt, lower back pain, and back pain. In addition, vaginal dumbbells can also help to improve sexual quality of life. After exercising the pelvic floor muscles, the blood flow to the reproductive organs can be increased. This means that sexual arousal will be easier. Also, because you can enhance internal control during sexual activity, women can have more intense orgasm experiences. With the added vaginal contractions, the partner will also be more likely to reach orgasm. The stigmatization of vaginal weights is imminent. However, the popularity of vaginal weights training is not optimistic, because it is tainted with the word vagina. The connection between women's bodies and sexuality has always been present. Some people can associate sex with women's navels, feet, or even ordinary clothing, and when some objects are associated with women's privacy, human imagination begins to diverge. If you search for vaginal weights on the internet, the pages that pop up are always related to tightening and sexual pleasure. It seems that women's exercise of pelvic muscles is only helpful for sexual life. Even for hygiene products such as sanitary napkins and tampons, which have nothing to do with sex, they always cause some people to associate them with sex, and in their eyes, women's hygiene products are equivalent to sex toys and cannot be openly discussed. The Indian-Canadian artist Quar commented in a group of photography works about menstruation. My monthly bleeding makes human continuation possible. My uterus is a house of God, the source of life for our species. But most people, society as a whole and most communities, try to avoid discussing this sacred natural process. Society has become accustomed to consuming women's bodies and breasts, and people are used to associating women with sex. This passage can also be used to explain people's prejudices against vaginal dumbbells. The vagina is the passage through which each person enters the world, and the pelvic floor muscles are an essential support for holding the fetus. However, because it is associated with intimate parts, vaginal dumbbells are full of sexual meanings in people's eyes, even if such objects are only for the purpose of improving physical health. In addition, this is also related to the imbalance of information on reproduction. We praise the greatness of mothers, but we almost ignore the changes in women's bodies after childbirth. If people don't make an effort to understand, they may think that giving birth only leads to changes in body shape. Still, behind that are countless mothers who suffer from incontinence, uterine prolapse, and vaginal prolapse. In such cases, many women don't understand the comprehensive effects of childbirth on the body and don't know how to take care of their own bodies correctly. Fortunately, society's perception is gradually changing. Today, many science popularization bloggers explain related knowledge, and some female stars dare to stand up and share their own childbirth experiences. More and more people are also consciously trying to understand what childbirth means for women. The prejudices that still exist today cannot be used as a valid reason for women to give up their physical health. When the surrounding environment's support is limited, women need to pay more attention to themselves and love themselves more. Ignoring and tolerating problems will not solve them all, so when women encounter these situations, they must seek help and treatment promptly.